yet, and there might be a echo. Let me see. If you're watching this part right now, then you are watching the replay. I am not live. I am live, but if you're catching this, then that means you're catching me on the replay. I'm going to use new product tonight, and tonight I get to show you some items from the catalog. I'm really excited about that I get to show you guys items from the catalog. So let me get it switched down to the desktop so that you can see some of the new product. And let me get over there. Had kind of a rough start going tonight there. My neighbors in the back, their little kids were playing along the fence and picking on my dog, so I had to go over there and ask them to not pick on my doggos. So here we go. I'm down on my desktop. This is a new catalog, and I actually get to show you the inside. I'm really excited about that I finally, it went live yesterday on the 6th, so I'm really excited that I get to show it tonight. Your catalogs will not come with all the little stickers on the side. I like to go through and mark all the different pages and that I want. Two of the pages that I marked and that I hope that you will mark as well. It is the card and tag templates. I like to follow the templates. And then there is also some scrapbook templates. So that's something that is really new for this catalog, that Stampin' Up is coming back into scrapbooking. They've got a lot of last year you probably saw several of the workshop kits that they had out. There are some in the catalog this year, so they're just absolutely beautiful. So I hope that you will check them out. But let's see. I am going to start tonight, and I will just show you what I'm going to be using tonight. And then every week I will use something new. But I am using this suite called the Beautiful Gallery. I absolutely, when we were able to view the catalog online, I fell in love with this suite very first thing. And I got to see the artist that drew this suite. She talked about how she created it, and I want to show you the different papers from it. These are all hand painted, and then what they do is they take photographs of their paintings, and she paints them about 12 by 12, and then they take photographs of the paintings, and then they adjust the colors so that they match the Stampin' Up colors. But this is all I have left of this, and these are 6 by 6 papers. This is all I have left of this one. So this one is my favorite piece, I guess you would say. But it's got like a damask pattern on the back, and it has these beautiful roses on the front. And then this one, I love that it kind of looks like an ad in a way. But then there's the back for that one. This one has got all those beautiful colors, and then it has a nice pattern on the back. It's just, there are some very, very, very beautiful drawings and just nice patterns that you can use for anything. I like the brush stroke of it. And there it looks like the coast with some boats. And this one looks like a city map. And then she's got these beautiful flowers. Like I said, this was a painting, and then she took a picture of it. And this one, I don't think you can tell it on the camera, but it looks like brush strokes on a canvas. And then when she was talking about these, she talked about that she wanted to paint art that you would have put on your walls, at the turn of the century. This would have been a painting that would have been on somebody's wall, and it would have been. These are beautiful paintings, and this was charcoal drawing. And she actually showed in the video that we got to see, she actually had her original, and it's like I said, on about a 12 by 12, and she touched it, and it was the charcoal drawing, and she kind of smudged it a little bit. So You know, it's just very beautiful, very beautiful. And I just love I love all those damask patterns. I really do. So, and it's this features a lot of our new colors. I think it might actually feature all the new colors. Let me see. Basic beige, that's from last year, and then it does basic black, basic gray, calypso coral, cloud cover, which is down here. This is a new color. It does crumb cake, early espresso, gray granite, lost lagoon, mossy meadow, peach pie, pecan pie, and then this one is secret sea, and then smoky slate. So these two are new colors. They, let me see, here's better, and this I use the embossing folder that's in the suite on these. This is the cloud cover, and then this is the secret sea. The cloud cover has an interesting thing about it. The ink pad for the cloud cover, we cannot order the big size of the ink pad for it, this regular size. The ink has a reaction to the foam on the ink pad, and so it causes discoloration on some, not all. So they've decided that they're not going to release it for us to order, but you can order. There is ink spots in here, and let me see if I can find those ink spots. There is a packet of the ink spots that you can order, and that actual the cloud cover is in that. Let me see, classic, page 33. I think that's the page that it's on. So if you buy that one, you will get the cloud cover. Yeah, there we go. This little ink spot right here, that one doesn't have a problem because that uses a different pad, so the ink doesn't react to it like it does with the big one. So you can buy this assortment and you will get the cloud cover ink color. You can take the ink refill, and we sell blank Stampin' Spots, and you can use that to refill, make your own bunch of your own little cloud covers. So that is the new catalog. Like I said, I'm not going to go page by page through it. There's so much in here. You've got your scrapbook workshops, you've got all of your suites, and then it has more of the memory keeping. This year is also, we're getting the new two-tone. That's we're getting it in all of the colors, most all the colors now. So that's a big thing of this year. Then we've got some of our new bundles that are out. Here's all of the different punches and tools. So in the different dies, a really nice one that's new is this very large alphabet die. That is a fun one. That is out this year. We've got some beautiful embossing folders, and we've got all of our adhesives. Then we've got all the different DSPs that are, some of them are new, some of them are returning. There's the one that I'm using here. So we've got a lot of beautiful, and then every year they come out with a new DSP, and the new pattern DSP, and all the different color combos. So that's a good one to have. A new thing that is very fun here is we have washi tape, and one of the kits, one of the bundles, actually has a die that will cut out the washi tape. So I'm looking forward to getting that so that I can show you something with that. And then we have all of the new ribbons for all the new colors, and I will show you that the new colors for 2025 through 2027 are this strawberry slush, timid tiger, darling duckling, and then the cloud cover and the secret sea. So these are the new colors for 2025 through 2027, and then the returning in colors for 2024 2026, pretty in pink, peach pie, shy shamrock, summer splash, and petunia pop. So most of the products are going to be with those colors. And then on the very back page we have our index. So I like to mark all the different pages. But so let's get started with the cards. This something else that just started last year or last month was the rewards program. So I hope that you guys are using that. It's a lot easier to work with this rewards program. We just had a double rewards, which was really good. Whenever you order something, you'll get rewards on your order that you'll be able to use with your next order. As soon as you hit $20 in product, then you'll start earning 10% rewards. So, and it's I've already used I've already used it to put on an order. So let's see. We're gonna start with this is on my team page. We had a card sketch, and in the card sketch it had the diamonds in the front, but all three were diamonds. But I decided to turn this one and make it a square. So we're gonna go ahead and make this card. And I have already cut out everything. I will be doing just a little bit of stamping. So for the front, I took one of the new products. I'm not sure where I put it. There it is. One of the new products in this bundle is this damask embossing folder. I'm really happy to see it, since one of my favorite embossing folders is actually on the last chance list. This one is a good alternative, I feel. It just gives that shabby chic kind of feel to it. So and it goes really well with this whole suite. So I used that on the background. It looks really cool. It looks almost kind of like velvet wallpaper, and you just want to go and touch it and feel it. Oh, that's kind of weird. But so there's that. Oh, I don't think I didn't. I need to go and grab my ribbon. Let me see. There it is. Okay. Sorry about that. So this is the this goes with this suite, and it is your classic ribbon, and it is in the basic beige, and it's got a very linen feel to it, so it's very nice. But so what I did with this, I took and I put this at the very bottom of this page. So I'm going to go ahead and just apply that down. Oh, I thought all I had, there it is. I was going to say, I thought I had all of my adhesives here. So we're just going to go and put some adhesive on the back of the strip. And like I said, this is that paper that I don't have much left of. It just absolutely was my favorite paper out of this set. And I'm just going to attach this just maybe not quite a half an inch from the bottom, maybe a little over a quarter. So I'm putting that there. And then I'm going to put some adhesive on the back, and then this is where we're going to use it to attach the ribbon. I didn't want to attach it all the way across, but I did anyways. That's okay. So I'm going to take my ribbon out, and I'm just going to put it on the back there, and then I'm just going to put it around the front so that it is in line with that. And you can use the adhesive on the front as well to make sure that the ribbon stays in place. I didn't, and it stays just fine, so I probably won't again on this card. Make sure that it is in line with that strip. Yep. So just like that. Okay, and then we will go ahead and place this down on the card. So there's that. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm actually going to use my glue, since this is embossed. That way it'll make sure to get in all those little grooves, nooks and crannies. It's always a good idea when you've embossed something to use glue. Make sure you get in those little crevices. Okay. And then just center this on the front of your card. There you go. Okay, now for this piece, I'm going to go ahead and stamp on there. I'm using the Beautiful Motifs, and you get both of these stamp sets and dies when you order that suite. So it's the Beautiful Motifs and the Gallery Blooms. So the Gallery Blooms has got your florals, and then the dies are, it'll cut out those florals. And then as you'll see something, I'll use it later on, this cuts out a frame. It cuts out a double frame. So very beautiful, beautiful stamps there. And then the Beautiful Motifs, that has more of your sentiments and a couple little pattern stamps. And then it will, you can use this to cut out some accent pieces. Some of these don't cut all the way through. So they kind of, and I didn't punch anything out. It'll just put like a little decoration in the corner, but it doesn't punch it all the way through. So there's that. So I am using the Wishing You Love and Happiness That Lasts a Lifetime. Thought this would be a nice congratulations wedding card. And I'm going to go ahead and use that new color, the Secret Sea, because it's a very rich blue. I really do like this one. Very rich blue. Make sure that yep. And I might get my head in the way. I'll try not to, but I want to be sure that I'm centering it on that piece there. Now clean that stamp off. Okay. I'll get that back in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and close that up so I don't stick my fingers in it. I'm going to center this onto there. So I'll just go ahead and use a little bit of adhesive on there. Okay. Now for this, you're just going to want to center your diamonds on there, and then you're going to put that on there. So I'm going to pop that up with dimensionals. So let me get my dimensionals out here. And then I will put these down. I'm actually going to use my glue because that way I can maneuver them a little bit. So you can see. And then I cut my fingernails and now I don't have anything to grab with. And these, I used one of the, I think it's the Nested Essentials or it's the Stylish Shapes dies. I'm not really sure. But that's what I used to cut these squares out with. They were just the right size. And I will make sure. For this set, this is the cards that if you spend $40 or more in shopping at my link, you'll get this, all the paper, there we go, all the paper to make your cards. It'll be all cut. And then also on Saturday I will be sending out an email with the recipe. It's not a step-by-step, but it gives you all the measurements. So if you're a if you're a subscriber, be sure and watch for that. If you want to subscribe, I'll have a link posted for you to be able to subscribe. So that way you'll know all the measurements that you'll need for this. Okay. So, and then I'm just going to pop that right up in the center there. So let me get the backings off. There we go. And then that just gets centered right there. And then for to finish off the front, I'm using, these are the pressed flower motifs, and this also goes with this suite. These are beautiful. They're metal embellishments, and they're quite hefty, so they've really got a lot to them, but they're really pretty. They're like a brass in color, but they really are quite substantial. So, and then I just put 3 of those down there, and then for the inside I'm going to layer these pieces on top of each other. And for whenever I am layering the pattern paper, I always love to cut it out in the center, because I want to be sure that I can use it more places. So we will go ahead and get this set down inside, doing like a couple layers in there. Okay, and so I just want to center this piece in there. And again, like I said, Saturday I'll be sending out an email that has the recipe cards attached, so you'll have all the measurements for all these. And then I'll go ahead and get this one set out. We've had quite a weird weather here. This weekend it was beautiful, and then all of a sudden it wasn't beautiful. It was raining, and I went and I had mowed my lawn and everything, and then Monday and Tuesday we had nothing but rain. So it's good. I mowed my lawn, and so my lawn got watered. So that's great. I'm enjoying that. But I also put down pesticide, so I'm kind of worried about that the pesticide didn't get to establish itself. So okay, so now I'm going to apply or stamp. I thought I had my little one, but I don't see it. I'm going to stamp the Celebrate, which is in there, and I'm going to use the Secret C for that. So make sure that I'm stamping it the right way, and I'm going to stamp first before I put it inside the card, because that way if I mess up, then I can turn it over and try again. So there we go. And then I'm also going to use, and I'm going to use the Basic Beige, because this is the Basic Beige cardstock. I'm going to use the Basic Beige to stamp this cute little flower that's in this one. I'm going to use that to stamp inside there. So we'll do that. And then I'm just going to put this on the side here. And this kind of gives it a little bit of a watermarked look. Felt like I was leaning to one side in my chair. Okay. Let's get that closed before I end up sticking my fingers in there, and then we will apply this, or we'll attach this to the inside, and then we will be done with the first card. We are getting ready for graduation at the college, and it is trying to get everybody their regalia and make sure that instructors and students alike all have their regalia and are ready to go. It's getting kind of crazy. Okay, so there is our very first card. Wishing you love and happiness that lasts a lifetime. And we've got a nice embossed background, and using the lovely ribbon across the bottom. And then on the inside, to bring the outside to the inside, I mat it with the different colors that were on the front. So that is our first card. For our second card, this one is kind of fun. I saw this, somebody posted this card on, I can't remember where I saw it at. I think she posted it on our demo page, but it looks like it's folded over, and then it's got a pocket, so you could make this be your card if you wanted to. I went ahead and I did make it so that it also opens, but so you could put a little bit of something in this pocket if you wanted to. So it just slides down in there like that. And then on the inside, how I talked about that frame, I used that die frame to cut that piece out. So we will go ahead and get started on this card. Now for some of it, I've already this part right here, this part right here, I used the embossing, the Versamark, and then the embossing powder, so it's raised and it's all pretty. So I've done that ahead already. And something else that I did on this one is I stamped in the Secret C, I stamped that floral stamp in the background, so it's kind of embossed, you know, without the ink on the back, and then I went ahead and used the Versamark embossing powder to pop a little bit of it out. So we will go ahead and get started. And one thing that I do need to do, let me grab my trimmer, because that is something that I'll need. You're going to give it that look. And I don't want to attach these down yet, but I want to take and I want to mark it at 2 inches on both of them. So, and I'll need my trimmer to score it and to. So this piece is down 2 inches. So laying the pieces on top of each other, I just want to mark down 2 inches, and you probably won't be able to see it on the camera, and that's fine. Let me see. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and this piece I'm going to score it. So there you can see it. I'm going to take that corner, and then the spot that I marked, I'm going to score it along there. So there. Just got that scored. And then this piece I am actually going to cut. So there we go. So I just put the top corner up in the slot, and then my place where I marked it is where I cut to. So, and then what we're going to do is this one, like I said, we scored it, so we are going to fold that one down. So that one is folded down. And then this piece, which it would, if you folded it over, it would be that, but you want it on the inside. So there, it looks like it's folded over. It's kind of a magic trick in a way. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach this piece to the inside of that. Like I said, this is my favorite piece of the DSP. It's that beautiful, the roses, and it's a very light pattern on the back, but it's so pretty. And then you're just gonna center it on there. Pretty much you're gonna put it all the way up to that fold, but you're gonna center it. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to take one of my dimensionals, and I am going to put that on the corner here to hold it down. But that's the only thing I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna glue it down, because I want it to have a bit of a dimension to it. But this piece I will glue down, and I want that light pattern to be on top. So then this piece is going to be kind of centered there. It's going to be along that line. I'm sorry if my head was in the way there. Okay, so there we go there. Now I want to make it a pocket, so I'm not going to glue around all the edges. I'm just going to go along the very, I'm not going to glue the whole thing, I'm just going to go along the very edge. So we will just go along the edge here. I guess I better get the piece that I'm going to put it on, huh? So, and then this one is just going to be centered basically along the bottom and the sides more than anything. So there we go there. And then I did something else that I did for this one is I used the Versamark and I put that pretty little pattern, that floral pattern up there, just to give it a little bit of extra to it, I kind of feel. So we will go ahead and do that. Is that one going to work? Yep. So we will just, we're just using the Versamark, and I'm just going to put it right there. Now it takes a little bit to show up, but it will show up. But that way it's not just blank there, and that's all it was I just didn't want it to be blank there. Okay, so now for that piece, and I'm gonna set this up here and I'm gonna set a block on it so that it kind of keeps it pressed down a little bit. So for the pocket card, one of the new punches is this slot. So I'm just going to take this slot and I'm going to punch it right in the middle. Make sure that I'm down a little bit. So there we go. And then I'm going to take the ribbon and I'm just going to use a little bit of the ribbon. You can see there's just a little bit. And I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to use the linen thread to kind of tie it together. So I want to cut that out a little bit more, but not cut very much. But I don't want it to roll back in there. So I went ahead and do that. Then just thread the ribbon through that little slot. Okay. And then take our linen thread and just tie a bow around it. So you really don't need much. So let's see. And you're just going to tie a knotted bow around there just to hold that ribbon in place. And just like it does, doesn't like to cooperate when you're on camera. And so I just did kind of come up a little bit. So then just tie a little bow. It's like trying to teach myself to tie a knot again. And you can cut it off or you can leave it, either way. So then that's going to go on the inside of your pocket. Okay. Now for the inside of the card, like I said before, that one die cuts a frame. It actually cuts 3 pieces. No, it doesn't want to go in there very well. It cuts out a big frame, and then it cuts out a smaller frame, and then it cuts out the inside there as well. So you can get 3 pieces from this one die. And I am using the larger of the frame, and then for the next card I'm going to use the inside of the frame. So I'm not wasting not wasting that pattern. So that is one thing that I really like about that. So we're going to put that on the inside of the card. And I'm actually going to frame. I'm not doing it this way. I wanted it to be a frame. I wanted it to go on top of it. So I'm going to kind of center it, and then I'm going to stamp my sentiment in there, and you've been on my mind. So I've got hello, and then you've been on my mind. So we will get that. There it is. Okay. And again, I'm using that Secret Sea color. So we will get that. Got a dog hair, of course. So let me turn this so that I can stamp right. So like I said, just kind of centered that on there. And then center our sentiment right about there. Okay. So now we will put this on the inside. Right over there, and we can go ahead and we can center this. It's kind of big. And did I use? Yeah. Oh yeah, I did the flower. This part, I did this part up. So, and then on the next card I'm going to use that back side. So we can kind of center it, because like it is kind of a big frame, but this piece can be centered in there pretty well. So we'll go ahead and get them both attached inside, and then we will be done with that card. So then we will just center this piece. There you go. So we've got that centered, and then now we will put the glue and we will center this one. Oh, and then I did put some dots on the front, so I will go and put the dots on the front. So, and then this piece will just be centered over the top of this one. Like I said, it's kind of a larger frame, so it does go to the very top and the very bottom almost. But there we go. Like I said, I wanted it to look like it is a frame. So there's that. Now I did, like I said, I put some dots. This is some new dots. This is in another suite, but it's neutral matte dots. And I liked I think these, they're either very vanilla or they're basic beige. It doesn't really say, but I used those colors because there is a very vanilla color in there. Kind of the basic beige, very vanilla. They're kind of the same. So I just pushed that down in there so that it is in line with that. And you could even use the white dots because there's white there, but I wanted kind of a subdued color. So I thought that kind of was more subdued than the white would be. So there we go with that. So there is our hello card with the little pull-out tag, and see, you can see a little bit of the embossed background, and then you pull it out and you see the raised embossing. And you could put you could even put a little gift card in there if you wanted to. It's a pretty tight hold. So, and then you can leave your message inside. So there is our second card. I've been wanting to try that fold over a couple of times, and I just never have, but saw somebody make it and it was super easy, so I knew that I could do it. And our final card, this is actually from the catalog. let me find that sweet again so that you can see. I didn't make it exactly. I cased the card. It's right there. It doesn't look like they didn't use the same colors, and then they used different colors for that as well. But so that was my inspiration. Sometimes I do like to do that. I like to take a card that's online or in the catalog and case it. So copy and share everything, or copy and selectively edit. So we will go ahead and get that card made. And then of course you can't see on the inside, so that's what I decided to do for the inside. So for this card, let's see, got all the pieces. I went ahead and this is in the Lost Lagoon color, and so I've got the regular card base, and then for this part of it I used that embossing folder. So we will go ahead and get that attached to the card base. Like I said, with embossing pieces, it really is a good idea to use the glue just to get in all those little crevices. Make sure that it gets held down pretty well. So, and then I just center this piece on the front. Okay. I can hold that down for a bit. And then this piece, I'm going to kind of piece it together a little bit. For the flower on the front, they used a couple of different colors, and then for the note, they didn't have a sentiment for that one. It looked like they cut some wording off of another piece of the DSP. I actually cut stamped a sentiment and cut it out. And then to build the little flower piece there, the little flower arrangement, I'm trying to decide if I just wanted to, I used crumb cake to stamp this piece, and then I used the Lost Lagoon to stamp this one, and on this card I colored that part in with the Lost Lagoon, but I don't know if I want to do that again or if I just want to leave it like that. I kind of just like the two colors, so I think I'm just going to leave it. And then, like I said, this is the frame from that other card. This is the smaller frame. So these pieces are just kind of layered in here, and these are I can go ahead and glue these pieces on, so I will do that. So I'm just gonna put a little piece of glue, or a little bit of glue, probably right about there, because I kind of want it off the frame a little bit. So I'm just gonna put a little glue there. Okay, and then the flower behind it. And something else I might do is I think I might put some linen thread behind this as well. So then this flower is kind of behind it there. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put a little bit of glue. Oh, let's see, that's right. I've got a couple different colors. I cut out some of the little leaves in the crumb cake and also in the basic beige, because the basic beige is in that color. So I'm trying to decide if I want to use, I think I'll use the basic beige there. So that little guy is going to go on top of him. So I'm just kind of building this as I go, making sure that all the different pieces are glued down. And these little leaves, you don't need too much. I think I'm getting close to the end of my little bottle here. So just gonna have that kind of there. Okay, and then this piece is gonna go behind these. So I will go ahead and put that there. Kind of sets there. Okay, and then I've got a couple of leaf colors here. So this one just kind of goes out here a little bit. And what I might do with him, since I'm going to pop all of this up with my dimensionals, I may just go ahead and not attach him with glue, but attach him with a dimensional. There it is. There's my open pack. So that way it'll hold him in place, but it'll also, you know, this way I don't have to try to use glue. So yeah, and I'm just going to use dimensionals in all the corners, and then I'm going to tie a little ribbon with the linen thread, because I think it'll be nice to have a little little linen thread ribbon on there. So make sure it's all popped up nice. Put one here in the middle as well. Give it a little bit more support. I do want it on the corner. Okay, so I'm going to take my linen thread and I'm just going to do one of my ribbons, or one of my bows. So okay, and then I'm going to see about putting that kind of behind there. Okay, so it's probably going to go under one of the try to put just a little bit of adhesive there, just to try to catch it a little bit, but it is going to be underneath all of the different dimensionals, so it is going to be in the background. Don't ever trim your fingernails right before you want to do a card on a live or anything like that, or if you're going to record a video, because it makes it very hard to get all the backings off of everything and to pick up some of the paper. Just doesn't want to work very well with you. Okay, so there's all of those. Now, oh, I have actually gone to work and had one of those little dimensional backers with me at work. It was really weird. Okay, so there we've got that. And we're just going to kind of angle this like that, just so that it's setting off. Okay, and now it's the same, well, wherever I put them. I'm not sure where I put them. It also has the beautiful motif embellishments, which I don't know where I set them down at. Darn it. So I won't be putting them on the front of this card, but it does also have those beautiful motif embellishments. There they are. Phew. Oh, and then I also want to do the sentiment, so just kind of here and there put a couple of the embellishments. There we go. And then I just stamp the note, and I'm gonna go ahead and use I'm gonna use the crumb cake, since that's what I used there. And I'm gonna do just a note. So just a note. Thinking of you. there it is, just a note. So we'll do that, and then I've just got a little small strip of paper. It's about a ½ an inch. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that right there in the middle. Get that cleaned off of there. And then we're just going to angle it off. No real, not going to use a trim or anything like that, just angling it. I'm going to go ahead and close that before and this one, I might put a dimensional, I am going to go ahead and do that like that, but I will put a dimensional behind it. So I'm going to use a little one to set in there. Okay. And then this one, I think I'm going to, that one I angled. I don't know if I want to angle it. Yeah, I'll go ahead and angle it. And so there it goes right on that dimensional. And I do like, I do like having that thread there behind it. Okay, and then for the inside, I'm using, I think this was a bigger frame. It might be, or, no, I just cut the paper and then I used a piece to cut the inside out, cut the middle out. So I will go ahead and put that down. Like I said, this was my favorite pattern from that whole thing. As you can see, I used it in every card here, and I'm probably going to have to buy another pack of the DSP just so I can get that paper, more of that paper. It's definitely my favorite. I love the rose pattern. I'm definitely a flower person when it comes to these graphics. And then I use the Thinking of You stamp for them inside. So we'll do that, and then for that I used the Lost Lagoon color. So we'll go ahead and add that. Get that cleaned off of there. Put that back in there, and then we will go ahead and adhere that to the inside. Cards, some of these cards look like they're maybe a little hard, and they're not at all. Like when I saw that one in the sorry about that, when I saw that one in the catalog, thought, I wonder how they did that, because it kind of looked like it was hard, but it's not at all. Very easy. And then I'll just center this inside that piece. And there you go. So there is our third card. So if, again, if you place an order of $40 or more at my shopping link, you'll get the paper, all the paper, and I'll cut strips of the ribbon to make these 3 cards. And then on Saturday, if you are a newsletter subscriber, I will send the card recipes so that you will be able to get the measurements. If you have this set and you've got these papers, you can go ahead and make them on your own. I hope that you enjoyed stamping with me tonight, and come back next week and I will have a new set. I'm not sure. In my group, I'm going to ask their opinion on which set they want me to use. So I'm not sure which set I'm going to use for next week, but so it'll be a surprise.